having started.
The next astronomer and his important contributions to the history of astronomy was Tycho Brahe. Tycho was a master observer. He had a theory, which we'll mention a little bit later, but he was a great observer. The telescope had not yet been invented or perfected, but as a payback for his father's graciousness, the King of Denmark gave Tycho money for him to create an observatory, build and house and furnish and hire assistants for an observatory. And Tycho's great accomplishments were in observing. He built very, very large instruments. And from those very large instruments, he could make very precise measurements of the sky. Here is one, looks like it's part of a protractor. It's a very large sextant that he used to be able to measure angles in the sky. Here's a famous one in his observatory with some of his assistants making some recordings, looking out a slot in the wall, and the observer here, along with Tycho's help, is making an observation of stars and planets through a slot in the window. So he was able to make very, very accurate observations. He observed the stars, he observed the planets, and made nightly observations of their positions in the sky. Before Tycho, the sky was thought to be perfect and unchanging. And so the reason for that is why many of the orbits are thought to be circular in the geocentric model. They are thought to be circular. The sky is thought to be perfect and unchanging. But Tycho observed a star. It's called a nova, and it's Latin for new star. Well, novas are not new stars at all, but actually they are stars that are dying. They become very bright at the end of their life cycles. And Tycho's nova, today we know it as a supernova, was seen near the constellation Cassiopeia, which is always somewhere in the region of Polaris, somewhere always in the sky in the north. It's called a circumpolar constellation because it never sets for us. Cassiopeia is always there. So Tycho observed this new star that had never been seen there before. Philosophically and religiously, that was not good because the sky was thought to be unchanging and always constant. And Tycho's observations demonstrated that this star was among the fixed stars. And it was a new star that had never been seen before. And today, when astronomers point their telescopes at that region in space, they see what looks like a big cloud of gas, and that is thought to be what's left over of Tycho's nova. Philosophically, it was a very large challenge for those who thought the geocentric model was very important. Tycho also observed a comet, and with his instrumentation, he was able to take parallax, make multiple measurements of different angles from different sides of the Earth's orbit, or even different sides of the day and night, and notice that the comet showed that it was at least as far away as the moon, but not as far away as the stars. And that was a major problem also for the geocentric model, which thought that these comets were out there among the stars. Tycho had an alternate cosmology. It really wasn't very good, and its predictions were not very good because, remember, he was not a theoretician, but he was a great observer. He had years and years and years of records of planet positions and star positions made from his great observatory. In this alternate Tycho universe, he has the Earth at the center and the moon going around the Earth. He also had the sun going around the Earth, and then all of the planets revolved around the sun. Well, he sort of had this compromise model, bridging between or trying to satisfy perhaps both sides of the discussion of geocentric and heliocentric models. But interestingly enough, when Tycho died, his records, all of his years of observing, went to Johannes Kepler, who was able to use these observations to discover some very important principles of the planets. He's the next character in this presentation.
Archive recording.